Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Like I said in my last video that I was going to make a video talking about what is the life expectancy of someone with muscular dystrophy and what are my thoughts on this topic. I know it can be a hard and sensitive topic when you're talking about muscular dystrophy and the life expectancy, but I feel like it's not all that bad. Like it can be scary, like for the person who's living with muscular dystrophy, and it can be a hard topic to discuss as a parent, brother, caregiver. You know what I mean? Like having to think about that your son, brother, family member has muscular dystrophy, and their life expectancy is not like someone who doesn't have muscular dystrophy. Have that crossed my mind, like about the life expectancy. It did, like a few years ago, when my teammate Jordan from my wheelchair soccer team passed away all of a sudden, and he think he had muscular dystrophy or some sort of muscular dystrophy. So it got me thinking all these negative thoughts about life expectancy, like how long will my life expectancy be? Like all these kind of things that have to do with life expectancy. It was like negative thoughts. Like that was like the only time I really started thinking about that. I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot of people with muscular dystrophy that at one point in their life probably started having the same thoughts as I did. The typical life expectancy for someone with muscular dystrophy is 18 to 25, but I didn't don't really think about that nowadays like I did, like what I was saying after my teammate Jordan passed away. After that, I had this mindset of living life to the fullest. You know what I mean? Like just living life to the fullest. I know that I don't have like a normal life, like someone who doesn't have a disability. I mean, I have somewhat of a normal life, but for those that have muscular dystrophy, all the struggles we have to go through than someone who doesn't have muscular dystrophy. So I just started having this mindset of living life to the fullest, however I could. You know what I mean? I always been realistic on things that I'm able to do as someone with a muscular dystrophy and things that I'm not able to do. You know what I mean? Like my feet are always have always been on the ground. You know how that saying goes? Like you have your feet on the ground, meaning like I always had like goals or try to enjoy life with realistic things. You know what I mean? It's not like when you're don't have a disability, with hanging out with friends. Like you can still do that, but it's a little difficult. Hanging out with friends, once you get older, starting a family, like a lot of people in their 20s, start having like, a relationship with someone, have kids and do all that. Like that's never been on my mind. It always was like, still is like living life to the fullest, but with realistic things that I can do, not things that I can't. And staying positive had really helped me not really think about those thoughts anymore. I mean, it was probably because I was younger, like I was like 16 or 17. When you're like young, your mindset is like different than when you're older, you know. I was mature like during that age, but for some reason I was affected by the whole situation with my teammate Jordan passing away, and I lost like the purpose in life was like just to enjoy life to the full, like I said, with doing realistic things, having realistic goals in life, and not being like, oh, I want to do things that I know can be in life when you have muscular dystrophy. So, I mean, just staying positive, like focusing on realistic goals, enjoying life, with things that you enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Like, I know you probably want to do things people that don't have a disability can do, but that will just affect you mentally because you'll be focusing on things you can do rather than focusing on things you can do. For those of you that have muscular dystrophy, I don't know, you guys read all the Quest magazine that come in the mail each month. I didn't read them when I was younger, actually. I never really paid attention to it. But as I got older, I started reading them, and it has like a lot of interesting things with muscular dystrophy. The last, the last magazine of last month, the Quest magazine was more focused on things that people with muscular dystrophy have been achieving that, in a sense, were not able to be achieved like years ago, like society didn't see someone with muscular dystrophy, you know, be able to achieve all these goals. Like one of the people mentioned in that section of the magazine was talking about he's like 45 years old, graduated with a degree in business administration, and is working a normal job like anybody else that does have muscular dystrophy. And then there was another person, that was able to move out, you know, who had like some kind of muscular dystrophy. Like, yeah, and then there was someone who had muscular dystrophy that was able to live on his own. Like the person that was 45 and who was working as a business administration, he bought his own house despite having muscular dystrophy. And then there was another case like someone who had muscular dystrophy had their own family. Like it got me thinking like, so I've been thinking about my disability in a wrong way. Like I always was realistic, like never thought about working actually. I mean, graduating from school, yeah, but actually having a job, no, I don't think that ever been on my mind. Or moving out because I'm like, how am I gonna move out? Like, I need help 24/7. Like, not even buying a house was like, never really thought about that. Like, now reading that, I'm like, so I've been thinking about my disability in the wrong way. Like, I let the life expectancy when I was younger dictate how my thoughts are now, like being realistic, you know what I mean? And reading this, I'm like, I probably was, my mindset is wrong then, you know? Like these people are achieving things that probably society don't see someone with muscular dystrophy achieving. Like now I see this in the magazine. Like I was like, maybe like even though they have this life expectancy, hovering over you, it's like those people that you see in the magazine were able to achieve things despite having muscular dystrophy and having this life expectancy. Like, so like it proves to you like staying focused on goals, staying positive can help like get you to achieve things despite having this life expectancy hovering over you. After reading that magazine, it got me thinking like I want to be successful in YouTube, have a successful channel despite having muscular dystrophy, like, have a successful channel. After having a successful channel, you know, maybe blogging about my life, like a blog and stuff. And then, keep achieving goals. Like I want to be like a successful, like want to be like a very successful person with muscular dystrophy, you know, to get to a point where I'm like I have all these resources. Like I have like a house that is all wheelchair accessible, you know. Imagine buying everything wheelchair accessible. It's expensive, but if you have the resources, you know, to have a nice house with all wheelchair accessible things, you know, that's like my goal. I getting to a point where I have resources that I can live like with. I can live like on my own, like have a successful YouTube channel, then have a successful blog, then probably a podcast, anything where I can share, you know, my experience with muscular dystrophy and help other people, you know, stay positive. Like for in this video, like I made this video not to scare people and be like, oh, I have life expectancy as some. No, I actually made it to make you be positive. Like don't think those negative thoughts. Like the idea of this video was like to inspire you to focus on realistic goals and achieve these goals. Like my goal right now is like having a successful YouTube channel where I have all these resources that I can be able to help other people. Like you know how you see YouTubers that have like a lot of millions and they do good deeds. You know what I mean? They help out, they do this, they do that, they donate here, they do that. You know, that's what I want to do. Like help other people with disabilities, you know, having like all this resource to, you know, have everything I want like in life but accessible. Imagine like buying my own private plane if, you know, God gives me like success from my YouTube channel. Imagine buying a plane, private plane with accessible seating for people in wheelchairs, and maybe you know creating a airplane where people in wheelchair can go to the airport and not worry about their chair. You know, a plane that's accessible seating for people in wheelchairs, maybe accessible Lamborghini, accessible Ferrari. You know what I mean? Those like after reading that magazine, that's my mindset. Like being a successful YouTuber, you know, and being able to help like the disability community, not just the muscular dystrophy community, but help everyone with disability. You know what I mean? Before I end this video, I just want to say don't let the life expectancy affect and dictate your life as someone with muscular dystrophy. Go out there, enjoy life to the fullest, doing every hobby you like doing without thinking about that. Like just live life to the fullest, you know? Don't let your disability affect you. Like I said, there's people with muscular dystrophy that have their own family, they have a career, they're doing this, doing that, achieving big things. So try to stay focused on that. Like have a mindset, like have like goals in life, realistic goals, of course, but still be open minded. You know what I mean? Don't just be too realistic. Also be a little open minded on, you know, maybe you can have a family like a lot of, but it's a little bit harder. But 1% of people with disability have like started their own family and this and that. So keep an open mind, you know, with that. Don't be too realistic like I was. You know, now I'm trying to tell my story here on YouTube and inspire people not to let like anything stop them from achieving goals, not even their life expectancy, not even muscular dystrophy, you know. So I hope you guys, you know, like this video, and like I was saying, stay positive. Don't let nothing affect you like mentally. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next time.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.